Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I go by the name of Tari, aka the coolest advocate. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. Thank you for clicking on the link. Thank you for clicking on this page, and I genuinely hope that you enjoy this content. And if you are a subscriber that is returning, thank you so much for your consistency. Thank you so much for always ensuring that you find your way back here. Thank you so much for the comments and everything. I truly appreciate it, and I'm glad to be filming these videos for you. So guys, I'm a bit tired and I'm a bit flustered, and so please excuse me for the just I look lazy, I'm a bit tired, and I'm not feeling well either. So yeah, I'm just gonna lean back and stuff. So there was a time when I made a video, and in that video I spoke about how you can become an advocate even if you didn't necessarily get accepted into the bars, one of the bars and stuff like that, and you applied for pupillage and then maybe you got rejected, but you still want to become an advocate. So for instance, if you are in a position where maybe you applied to the GCP and then you didn't get accepted for one reason or another, or if you applied to Pabasa and then you didn't get accepted for your pupillage, so there is still a way that you can still do your pupillage and get admitted in everything, although you won't have done pupillage under those bars that you applied to. So look at my skin, cute. So my colleagues are busy telling me today that I must stop wearing makeup and I must start wearing my natural face to chambers all the time. And I'm just like, that I'm dressed like this and I'm not wearing any makeup at all today because I'm actually not feeling well at all. Like, I'm quite sick and I just didn't have any energy in the morning. So I literally woke up and I was just like, I'm just gonna take a shower and obviously do my skin routine, and I'm just gonna head on out. And it's also very, very cold, so I think I'm coming down with the flu, and that is the reason why I'm just feeling so down and out and feverish and stuff. So as I was saying, I mentioned this in one of the videos and then I didn't actually go into depth about it, and a few people actually DM'd me and they asked me, hey, did you ever get around to doing that video about pupillage and stuff like that? And then somebody also reminded me, because a senior of mine, because I had told her about this sometime last year, and then she then wanted to find out for me because somebody that was close to her failed the GCP exams. So he failed the exams and he still desperately wanted to get admitted, but it seems like the bar that he was doing his pupillage didn't accept him to redo his pupillage. So I don't really know how that works because I've never failed exams, so I'm not really sure what happens when you do fail your exams, but I do know that some bars are more reluctant to letting you repeat, whereas others are okay with you just repeating the modules, whereas other bars expect you to start your pupillage from the beginning. So yeah, this also applies to you if you did pupillage and then you failed, and then maybe the bar doesn't want to accept you again and you can't get into any other bar, then you still feel like you still want to go on with your journey and you still want to become admitted. So the thing is, this is not really a shortcut in any way, guys, and it's probably a lot more harder, and it also has its own disadvantages because it's easier to learn in an environment where there's many of you, as pupils, as students, because then you have much more support, and we all know that in this profession you really do need the support. You can't just do anything by yourself, or everything by yourself rather. So yeah, it's really not a shortcut, but it is a solution for some people that just desperately want to do pupillage and then they find themselves in a position where for some reason they didn't get admitted into that bar. So there's many reasons why people don't get that people don't get accepted to do pupillage at different bars, because different bars are looking for different things from different candidates, right? So obviously the interview process is also very different. different bars look for different things. They ask different questions. Some of them ask legal questions. Some of them ask integrity-based questions, and some of them look at academic records and academic excellence and so forth. And those are the things that they take into consideration when shortlisting their candidates and when accepting people after they've done their interviews. So for any reason, you could either get accepted or rejected from this. So in any case, the Legal Practice Council then brought this pilot program, which started in 2021, and they basically made legislation, or they made way or provision for candidates to apply to do pupillage under an advocate and through the Legal Practice Council, obviously, but then outside of a specific bar. So for instance, that you would do pupillage under a mentor or principal, just like every other person, but you would be doing this under an independent advocate and not an advocate that is a member of the bar. So basically your principal would then obviously have to be practicing as an advocate and enrolled by the Legal Practice Council, but not a member of a certain bar. Right. So this happens there are many advocates that are practicing as independent advocates for many different reasons. Some of them, they did their they did their pupillage with certain bars. Some of them come from the GCP and then they leave the bar and they just go practice independently. Some of them are side bar advocates, but who are practicing nonetheless, as advocates, the high courts, and just doing advocates work. So this can be an advantage and a disadvantage, because obviously not everybody knows how to be a training supervisor. So not everybody really knows what it takes to mentor a pupil, and what that mentoring entails, and what exactly they need to be teaching that pupil during the period of the pupillage program, right? But in any event, one thing about practice is that you will learn along the way. It's called practice because it's literally about consistently practicing. So the training supervisor would have the exact same responsibilities as any other training supervisor if they were your mentor, but at a bar. So I'm just going to make an example of Pabasa. So if I was your mentor at Pabasa, if all the responsibilities that I'd have being your mentor at Pabasa, I would still have those responsibilities if I was training you as a person who is not a member of Pabasa, but an individual advocate. So basically speaking, I'm just going to go through some of the requirements that you need in order for you to qualify, or in order for you to actually then get accepted into doing this program. And what will be the first requirements is, obviously you're going to need to have a Bachelor of Laws degree. So you're going to have undergone your LLB degree and graduated and obtained your degree. That's the first thing. It's the most important thing. And then obviously you're going to need to have your ID and all of that, proof of your citizenship and all of that. It also matters, right? And then what you're going to do is that you're going to enter into a practical vocational training contract with your supervisor. So you will go and look for any supervisor who has been practicing for more than 3 years, right? This is any individual that is an admitted advocate and is practicing as such, but has been practicing for more than 3 years, but does not belong to any of the constituent bars. So this person needs to be practicing either independently, or the other exception is that this person needs to be a member of the Legal Aid South Africa. So if the advocate is a member of the Legal Aid South Africa, then the Act gives provision for such an advocate to then undertake getting into such kind of a PVT contract with the pupil and then training that pupil. So if the person is an independent advocate, the requirements for them to be able to take on a pupil is that they must have been practicing for 3 years, and they must still be practicing enrolled as such with the LPC. And then the rule is that they can't take more than one pupil, so they can only focus on one pupil at a time. And then obviously they're going to go into the training contract. What this contract entails is basically an agreement between you as the pupil and the training supervisor as your mentor or your principal. And then it basically gives the roles that each of you guys are going to have, and what you guys, or your obligations rather, in terms of the contract. So your obligation is obviously to undergo the whole 12 months of practical vocational training under his mentorship. Take instructions from your mentor or training supervisor, whichever one you want to call it, or principal, whatever, and take instructions from them, shadow them, go with them to courts, help them to draft things, all the things that you do in your normal pupillage program. So you'd be doing this with this principal, right? And then their responsibilities towards you is obviously to train you, to supervise you, to show you, teach you stuff about the profession, and just like you would be taught in the bar by your training supervisor. Now, another disadvantage of this is that obviously, if it's an individual who's practicing on his own and he's like not a part of the bar, it means that you're probably going to be exposed to that legal practitioner alone, which means that you're probably going to be limited to the field of law that that person mostly specializes in, if that person specializes. So you find some advocates whose practice will probably be built mostly on labor law. So it means that most of the work that you're going to be exposed to is going to be labor law. You understand what I mean? Because that's the cases that that person is going to be doing. So even when they ask you to draft things, most of the things that you're going to be drafting are things that are related to the labor law. So that can be a disadvantage. Whereas when you are a member of the bar and you're doing your pupillage under the bar or through the bar, you're exposed to a lot of councils there. And then there's different councils that practice in different areas. Even if all of them do general litigation, both civil and criminal, or whatever the case may be, all of them have an area of sorts that they usually mostly do matters in. Everybody's got that sort of a niche type of thing. So at the bar, you'd probably be exposed to more, because then you can obviously approach different councils and get different things from them, and draft different things from them, and you'd be taught by different people. So you'd get the experience of advocates actually teaching you, or lecturing you rather, and that would also be a very big advantage, because you could ask questions, and some of them are experts in criminal, some of them are experts in land, that type of thing. So you'd be exposed to that. Whereas if you are being trained by an independent advocate, you are more of at a disadvantage, because this person is probably limited, or they have an expertise in a certain field of law and not so much in other fields of law. Nonetheless, you can always still learn. It's not a train smash. The rules are the rules, the law is the law. You can always still learn that stuff. I mean, in practice, you come across all sorts of things as a junior. You don't really jump from being a junior straight to being an expert in a certain field. So there's always space to grow, even if that is the case. So yeah, that's one of the things that the disadvantages and the advantages of being a member of either the bar or doing this pupillage training under an independent advocate, right? So a person that has been practicing as an advocate but as a member of the legal aid, for instance, that kind of advocate is an advocate in terms of regulation 7B, subsection B, regulation 7 subsection B. So that advocate will be an advocate that that advocate will be an advocate that can also train pupils, but then they can train up to 6 pupils, but not more than 6 pupils at a time. That is somebody that is at the legal aid. They must also have to have been practicing for a period of 3 years. Okay. So yeah, those are basically the requirements. That would be how you'd get into the contract. And then once you've gotten into that practical vocational contract, then you take that contract and you go and you fill in the registrations forms at the Legal Practice Council, and you register that contract at the Legal Practice Council with your degree and whatever is required on the registration documents. That information, you'd obviously get it from the Legal Practice Council when they give you the registration forms and you fill those out. Then those forms would clearly set out what it is that you need, and I know that you have to pay to register your contract. I don't remember how much you pay, but I think to register a contract with the LPC is nothing more than 345. That's how much it was the last time I checked. I'm not sure anymore how much it is now, because Legal Practice Council, every institution increases or decreases their fees. So I would be lying, but the last time I checked, it was 345 rands. Okay. So once your contract has obviously been registered with the LPC, that will be the date of your registration. They'll give you a proof that your contract is registered, and then they'll give you a registration number, which will eventually become your practice number. So whatever number that they issue once your registration is effective or effected rather, then that's going to be your practice number. Even when you become admitted as an advocate, that's the number that you're going to use to write your exams, and that is also the number that you're going to use as your practice number. Okay, sharp. And then when you have done your pupillage, when you have entered into this contract with your training supervisor, guys, I'm sorry, like I did say, I'm sick and I'm trying to speak as fast as possible so that I can get this over and done with, right? But yeah, when you have gotten into your contract with your supervisor and it's been registered with the LPC and you've gotten your things and everything, then you can apply for the 400 notional hours of coursework that are needed in order for you to be able to qualify to also write your bar exams, and in order for you to become admitted and as an advocate. So there are basically 3 requirements. One is that you need to do the structured coursework for 400 hours. This would be what our pupils do at the bar. They get classes and lectures and stuff like that. But because you wouldn't be getting those from a private advocate or an independent advocate rather, you can still get that coursework or structured coursework, and those lessons and classes, you can get them from LEAD. So LEAD is the Law Society of South Africa, LEAD, LSSA, Law Society of South Africa. So they offer online courses and programs that you can do that come with assignments and assessments and all of that to see your readiness and all of that. And then that comes with a certification. And that is an institution that is recognized by the Legal Practice Council as per the rules, and the Legal Practice Act as per the rules and the requirements that it takes for you to get admitted as either an advocate or an attorney or a paralegal, whatever the case may be. But here we're talking about an advocate. So the Legal Practice Council says that the Legal Practice Act and Council says that they will recognize an institution that is recognized by them to offer that coursework. So LEAD would be that institution in this instance when you are entering into a contract with a private, why do I keep saying private? Independent advocate. So in order for you to apply for this, you would apply for the Regulation 7 Pupillage Program coursework on LEAD. And then once you've applied, when you're applying, you're going to need a fee of 3,700 Rand. And then you're going to need your identity copy. And then you're going to need your proof of your Bachelor of Laws degree. So you're going to need your LLB, you're going to need your ID, and then you're going to need the payment, 3.7 for the coursework. It may increase and it may change over time. I don't know, but at the moment it's 3,700, right? So you apply to them, and then and you're going to need the PVT contract. So you're going to need to show them that you entered into a contract with an advocate who's going to train you, who's going to be your training supervisor. So once they are satisfied that, okay, you qualify and whatnot, and you can do the coursework, then you're going to get your curriculum, your course curriculum, and your course outline and so forth. And then you can start with that pupillage program, and then you're going to have online classes where you are getting lectured and stuff like that, and by advocates that are admitted. So it's not like you're getting lectured by random people, you're getting lectured by advocates that are practicing and all of that, and they're going to teach you how to draft, and they're going to do the things that you probably have done through Pupillage, except that you're going to be doing this stuff online now. And then you're going to get assignments and assessments and things like that, where you're required to draft certain documents in all the fields of law that you're going to be tested on when it comes to the bar exams. So it's going to be literally high courts, criminal, civil motions and trials, that kind of stuff. Procedure, all of those things. You're going to go through that. Alternative dispute resolution, all of that stuff. You're going to do that. And then you're gonna do obviously your ethics, like literally the normal coursework that you're supposed to do and stuff like that. You're gonna do that, and then that course is going to prepare you for your exams. Now here's another thing: even if you are doing pupillage with a bar or one of the constituent bars, you can still apply to LEAD for this coursework and to help you to prepare for your bar exams. I highly recommend this coursework. I did this coursework. It's amazing. They cover a lot. They teach you how to draft a lot of things, and by the time your exams comes and you need to draft, especially when it comes to legal writing, that coursework is going to come in handy. 3,700 Rand, and well, it's subjective, so I can't say it's a lot or it's not a lot, because for me, I felt like it wasn't a lot, but for the other person, for the next person, it may be a lot of money. So I also totally understand that, but it's definitely worth it. So yeah, if you have the money and you can afford to do that coursework and you're part of a bar, you can still do that coursework and just do the assignments and all of that and the assessments and attend the classes and things like that. It's going to come to your advantage, and you're also going to get a lot more study material. It will work in your advantage when it's time for you to start writing your bar exams with your bar, and you have to start writing those legal practice council exams, because those exams will rock you. And the legal practice council bar exams are the ones that actually matter the most. For some bars, you have to pass their exams as well, but ultimately for you to get admitted, the legal practice council exams are the ones that really matter. So yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to mislead people because I don't know how different bars work, but I'm telling you that if you write the legal practice council bar exams and you pass them and you've done your coursework for 12 months and you've done your 400 hours, you're good to go. Sorry, I'm hearing sounds, so I was thinking that maybe somebody is coming in, but it's definitely it's my ears. So yeah, I've covered that. So what happens is that once you're done with your coursework and you've passed all the assessments, and the advocates there that are teaching you guys the coursework and everything are satisfied that you've completed your 400 hours and they're satisfied that you passed everything and that you're ready to write the exams or whatever, then they'll give you a certificate. So now this coursework only happens, I think, twice a year. There's an intake that happens twice a year, which means that I think you can apply in April and September, something like that. I don't really remember, but you can just check on the lead website. But yeah, the intake it happens during certain periods. It's not a constantly ongoing thing. It's literally the same thing as law school, just the same thing. Lead also offers law school, so they also offer that coursework. So yeah, then you enter into that contract with them. Okay, they satisfied that you've entered into your contract with your training supervisor, you've shown them your proof of your degree and your ID, and you've paid your fees and everything. Then they're gonna give you access to an online platform, and that's where you're gonna be attending your classes, submitting your assessments and all of those things online, kind of like, okay, so us at Northwest University, we used a site called Ifundi. So it would be the same thing as Ifundi. I don't know what the UNISA one is, but it's literally the same thing as like how the university would give you assessments, mark your assessments. Some of them are marked automatically, quizzes, that type of thing. So that's what you would be dealing with in terms of that coursework. And then it would take a certain period of time. I'm not sure how many weeks it takes for everything to be completed. But yeah, it makes up the full 400 hours that you need in order to complete all the requirements. And then here's another thing, guys. The same rules apply even if you're doing your pupillage in this regard with an independent advocate. You still can't work, you still can't hold any offers of directorship or any other business or anything where you're getting any form of remuneration or any interest in the business or the practice of your training supervisor or anything like that. Same rules apply, just as they apply to candidate attorneys and to pupils that are doing pupillage with the bar. You still are not entitled to getting any payment for anything. You still can't have any active businesses and all of that stuff. And if you do, you still need to declare it to the Legal Practice Council just as you would. So it's still an unpaid program for the whole 12 months. So you must still have savings. You must still take all those things into consideration that you would take into consideration if you were doing your pupillage at one of the bars. All right, so nothing has changed there. You're still gonna suffer because really with pupillage you suffer, so you're still gonna suffer. Don't even think that you're not gonna suffer this time. You're gonna suffer because if you want to be an advocate, really, you have to know that you're going to suffer for that 12 months, right? But you can also apply for the Sasita stipend even if you are doing this pupillage program with an independent advocate. You do not only have to be a member of the bar. You can still apply for the Sasita stipend, which I think is 7,000 Rand, 8,000 Rand, around there. But I want to tell you now that stipend is very, very unreliable because Sasita is inconsistent. I'm speaking from my own experience and the experience of people that I know that actually did get that stipend, even here at our bar, that are still under that stipend, that are always complaining about not getting their money on time and stuff. They do back pays and things like that, but you must just always have in mind that when you're doing pupillage, you must have savings or you must have a lot of financial support. You need support there, and that you're not going to have any money coming in and you're going to have to be using your savings or whatever it is. So that's something that you also need to take into consideration. And then what's the third thing? I think, why am I saying third thing? Yeah, what's the next thing? I think that's it. So it's literally the same things, but this is how you go about it this time with your independent advocates. And then also the nice thing is that you can do it at any time of the year. So there's no actual deadline to say that it's like at the bar, your applications need to be submitted at a certain time, because applications are also advertised at a certain time, and then you must submit them by a certain date, and then pupillage starts on a certain date, and then it's 12 months running from that date. In this instance of a independent advocate, you can go today on the, what date is it today? Let me see. I actually want to be accurate. You can go today, which is the 15th of April, and you can go and find an independent advocate, and then you can enter into a contract, and you can go to the LPC tomorrow, pay them their money, register that contract, then start doing your pupillage. And then when the time comes for you to be able to do the coursework, you're gonna have to keep a lookout on the website, lead, because like I said, it's not an everyday thing for them. So when the time comes, Nakona, you don't have to rush, because I'm sure with lead, you're doing it for a short space of time for the 400 hours of your coursework. But in the meantime, you will be doing your pupillage ngalana with your supervisor, and then with lead, you're gonna do your assessments and everything, your online classes and everything whenever the site opens and stuff like that. And you're only going to write your exams later on after 12 months. So it's not really a problem when do they open, because I promise you they'll be open by the time you need to prepare for your exams and things like that. They will have opened, even if it's a few months later, right? And then you obviously also get your right of appearance, just like every other pupil gets their right of appearance in the regional courts after 6 months of having been doing your training with your supervisor. So you can go to the regional court and do matters on behalf of your principal, that type of thing, with the permission of your principal, of course, but that is after 6 months. You get your automatic right of appearance, and then after 6 months, you get your automatic right of appearance in the regional court. But before you get your automatic right of appearance as a pupil, generally in the regional court, in the magistrate's court, district, just automatically day one, you've got your right of appearance. After 6 months, then you can go to the regional court. I'm just so sick and I'm uncomfortable. That's why I'm squirming around in this chair. I think I've covered everything that needs to be covered regarding that. And like I said, you can go to lead for more information. A lot of people don't know about this because, like I said, it was a pilot program, but I think it's getting more popular now. And it started in 2021 around May, and now it's getting more and more popular, and more people are taking that route instead of, just waiting to apply again at the next bar every time they get rejected and stuff like that. So after that, after you're done with everything, then you register to write your legal, you register to write just give me a second, you write your bar exams with the LPC. So I got distracted by a colleague and I lost the thing that you need to put on the mic. There's something that you connect in order for the mic to work. So I don't know where I put that. I think I lost it. So now I hope I'm going to be audible. So as I was saying, once all of these things have been completed and you've done all of this stuff, then you can register to write your bar exams with the Legal Practice Council, and those exams will rock you, but you'll be fine just like everybody else and stuff. And so you can decide how many exams you want to write with the Legal Practice Council, just like how most candidate attorneys usually decide for themselves that they're going to register maybe, instead of all of the exams, they're going to register maybe 3 of them or 2 of them at a time, because the exams are difficult and they're all written within a very short space of time. So it can be overwhelming for some people. Not everybody can study that much information in such a short space of time and write those exams back to back, just like everybody else. So that's understandable. If you're one of those people, then that would be the situation for you. You can register the exams But you must just know that if you don't write all the exams at the same time, then you're going to have to register the next semester to write the exams, and then your admission is going to take longer. I always say it's better to write all the exams, fail what you fail, and rewrite. So obviously for you to also register to write the exams, you need to pay for the exams, and registration fee is 345 again. So should you choose to write one exam, you're going to pay 345, and then should you choose to rewrite the other exams, should you choose to rewrite any other the other exams at a later stage, you're going to have to pay again for registration fee to write those exams. So that's also a disadvantage of not writing all the exams at once. But Nakona, if you fail them, I think you qualify for an oral. I passed my exams in the first go, so I'm not really sure how it goes, what really happens with regards to that. I just know that you need to, if you qualify for an oral, I don't think you need to pay, but I think you need to pay if you are rewriting completely, like you're re-registering because you didn't even qualify for an oral. So yeah, then after you're done writing your exams and you've gotten your SMS from the LPC telling you, yo, congratulations, you passed, and then they give you your certificate of your results for your exams, then you can apply for admission as an advocate of the High Court, then obviously you do your notice of motion, your founding affidavit, and then you would annex all your things. Same way you do an application for every other thing, except that you would explain that you were doing your pupillage training under an independent advocate, what as regulated by the LPC and the Legal Practice Act, Regulation 7, then you add all the clauses that are necessary there. Then you obviously, your mentor is going to also depose to an affidavit to support, just like really all the other normal applications, and that's how it goes. And then from then on, voila, you get to go, you set that application down, you go to the court and you get your admission done, and voila, congratulations, you are an admitted advocate of the High Court of South Africa. Now, another thing that you need to take into cognizance is that once you have done your application and you have been admitted as an advocate of the High Court of South Africa, you can apply to certain bars to become a member of those bars. However, you can't be a member of the GCB, which is the General Council of the Bar, because they don't accept people that did not do pupillage with their bars or with one of their constituent bars. Okay, so if you are a member of the GCB, then you can apply at any one of their groups, which means you can go to Group 1, you can go to Maidels and what, you can go to all of these JSA, PSA, you can move around in those circles. But if you did not do your pupillage with them, unfortunately, you're going to have to join the other bars. I don't think it's a bad thing though. But yeah, for instance, you can join Pabasa, luckily, I think. You can join Pabasa, yeah, you can join Pabasa. And then you can join the RSA bar. And I'm not sure about other bars that you can join, to be honest. But yeah, you can join those and stuff like that. And then you can start practicing. And then, yeah, start making your money and start learning, because you're still going to have a lot to learn constantly. But you will be admitted and you will be a proper advocate, and you're not a sidebar advocate. You've undergone all the training requirements. You've done every single thing that every other advocate would have done. So you're not even a sidebar advocate. You're a proper advocate. And then you can continue. If you want to, you can get a trust fund account, and then you can take instructions directly from members of the public. Not advisable, but you can do it if you want to. Then you have to do even the attorney's work, which is a lot more work. I don't think that's very, very smart. As a junior, you're going to be overwhelmed. But yeah, you can do that. I'm irritated because I can't find that other thing to connect my mic, which means that I might have actually lost it. And well, obviously you'll be able to hear me now. I think I'm audible enough, and I'm going to try take up the volume as much as possible on this video. But I'm just irritable because where is it gone to? And I mean, I'm too sick for this. Like, I'm not in the mood for this right now. But yeah, okay guys, so I think that brings me to the end of this video. I think I've said everything that I needed to say. I think I've covered everything. If you do have questions, smart questions only, guys, remember, feel free to contact me and ask me these questions, or just send me a message or drop the questions in the DMs. Don't ask me questions that you can Google the answers to. Don't ask me questions that you can easily find on the internet, please, I beg. Let's not do that. I've addressed that already in some of my previous videos. If you do that, I'm not going to answer you. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this video was informative and insightful for you. And good luck if you are planning on applying for pupillage. All the best. I wish you the very, very best. Always be prepared, and give it your best shot. And yeah, thank you guys, and I love you guys so much. And this is me. I need to go home. I need to take my medication, and I need to sleep. Mwah. Love you.